my gosh, it's like church. The front 3 rows are empty. Oh, but not the whole front row. Thank you over here. We appreciate this. I'm Karen Simmons, President and CEO of the Chester County Community Foundation. Now, when I put my hand down, I can't see you, so, okay. We are delighted to be back live and in person at the Uptown Theater. We hope you had a chance to stop in the lounge for a look and a drink. And after our program ends at 6, we're going to try to be on the dot. Please feel free. We'll have more receptions upstairs and downstairs. So tonight, you're going to see some of the ways that we have stayed the same and some of the ways that we have changed since our last time here with COVID. The fact is, for our agenda tonight, in a little bit, after I give an overview, we're going to give a new Inspiration Award to the Honorable Clifford DeBaptiste, but not yet, so you get to stay right there, okay? So this new award is our Visionary Award to a man who has been a long-standing, extraordinary community servant, bridge builder, door opener, and visionary. So more on that in 10 minutes, okay, sir? So we're also going to highlight a major door that was opened for us. Dave Fries and Kurt Kunsch planted a seed in the mind of a donor, Robert Erb, and that seed grew over a decade. And in the end, the $7 million legacy gift proved that planned giving is crucial to the financial health of nonprofits in the charitable sector. So generous people who care about our community can make a difference for perpetuity so that there are charitable assets to fund the community in good and bad economic times. You will also hear about one of our fundraising funds because Nancy Tuttle stepped forward to honor her husband's legacy, and she's had outstanding results during very hard times. And then we'll close by quickly summarizing what's ahead, and you'll be able to go eat, drink, and be merry and make new friends. So that's what we're going to do in the next 55, 4, 3, 2, 1 minutes. And with that overview, I want to present to you our new chair of the board, Winnie Moran Sebastian Esquire. Winifred?
When many of us last met, it was at the Chair's Choice reception, which was in honor of Mike DeHaven, who's my predecessor on the board. Mike's calm and steady leadership got us through the COVID years so that we came out of it stronger and bigger than ever. So I'd like to, I don't know whether he's here or not, but offer kudos to Mike because he was great as a chairman. Yay, Mike. We're also grateful for each person who served in that capacity since 1994 when the Community Foundation was started. Through all of those years, we've deepened our relationships and expanded our reach. We grow with respect for our past, awareness of our present, and dreams for our future. Then, thanks also to our board members currently governing us and the emeritus board members who are people who have done such an incredible job as a board member that we keep them on as emeritus. They don't get to leave. Their gifts of time, treasure, and talent are invaluable. We're also fortunate to have an incredible array of volunteers. They serve on dozens of committees and work groups. They provide frequent sessions on a variety of charitable topics, and they assist with monthly events. Then finally, we have, not really finally, there are more, but I would like to recognize the work of our investment partners. We have an investment committee who keeps track of our holdings, and they consult with our chief investment officers at Hurdle Callahan. This has been a particularly difficult year, and they've done an amazing job. We also have medallion investment partners. They invest customized, separately managed accounts for donors with the Community Foundation. They have to go through some hoops to get that title, and we're very proud to have them be a part of our organization. And finally, the glue that keeps us running are our staff. We have 6 full-time staff, 6 part-time staff and 6 interns, so we're very balanced. It's good. The interns keep us young and nimble. The part-time staff gives us wisdom in their agreement to work on a part-time basis that we could never, ever buy. So we're very appreciative for all the work that they do. And our full-time staff manages the office and then runs all over the county to meetings to deal with and meet with people who want to contribute or create funds with the Community Foundation. And now I'd like to turn the program over to the Foundation's real glue, Karen, the President and CEO.
Thank you. Thank you, Winnie. You can see why our board, volunteers, and staff are so dedicated to our mission. We have the privilege of helping generous people make great grants to important causes that you care about. So this past year, we awarded, anybody read the report? Over $6 million to the community. And that's via 1,000 grant and scholarship awards. We covered a wide variety of fields and interests, so arts, culture, education, libraries, scholarships, environment, animals, health, human services, and religion. All kinds of grants, but the fact is, we didn't do it by ourselves. Because we're a community foundation, the overwhelming majority of our grants and scholarships comes from you, the people whose funds we hold in trust. People who realize that you don't have to be a Rockefeller to have your own fund or your own foundation with us. So over the years, over 400 individuals, families, and businesses have created endowed legacy funds. And many times, when their kids and grandkids and neighbors get involved, it grows even more. But not only do people donate their legacy funds when they're alive, they also make arrangements to donate their legacy fund monies when they truly have no more need for their earthly possessions. Over 235 individuals have now joined our Ben Franklin Legacy Society. And I hear one calling right now, right? And so they leave donations to their charitable funds through their IRAs, insurance policy, or a bequest in their will. So if you've been pondering what arrangements to make for that time when money will no longer be of any use to you, just stop pondering. Simply make a planned giving commitment and then live a long and happy life. And you know my lovely phrase, where there's a will, there's a way. So over this past year, 20 new charitable funds were created at the Community Foundation. The new funds are highlighted here. You'll have annual reports when you leave as well. So we have 425 charitable legacy funds that we hold in trust. Now, the majority are endowed donor advised funds, which are held by individuals and families, and they can make grants any place in the United States. And I repeat, it's any place in the United States. So we're focused on Chester County people, but you can give wherever in the United States that's legal. Otherwise, I'm the one who gets in trouble. So throughout the United States. The fact is, most families make grants to someplace within an hour or so of their backyard, but it's all across the country. The field of interest funds focus on a specific geographic region or a specific field of interest, like arts, education, environment. Nonprofit endowment funds benefit a very specific nonprofit forever. So we have 80 nonprofits who have endowed funds with us. And then scholarship funds. Scholarship funds help with costs of education, obviously. You create these funds, and you determine where you want to award grants and scholarships, and we make that possible. And we are honored to be a conduit for your philanthropy. So that's a bit about what we've been doing. How about we go on to the awards? Yes. As I said, we have 2 awards to present this evening. To Kurt Kunsch, we'll present our Door Opener Award and tell you about that. But before we do that, let us start with our very first ever Honorable Dr. Clifford E. Baptiste Visionary Award. Now, sir, I know that throughout the 98 years of your life, you have stood at the podium to get these awards, and I would like to ask you to do something different. Can you sit there while I talk about you? Is that okay? Good. This year, The Chester County Community Foundation proudly establishes the Honorable Dr. Clifford E. DeBaptiste Visionary Award. This award recognizes exceptional individuals who deeply and consistently serve as a servant of the community with respect to community building and its diverse members, be a bridge builder, excelling in building bridges across multiple systems, institutions, and communities, a door opener as you move forward, creating a pathway for the next generation to excel even further than you have, and a visionary with your eye on the future to imagine a world where equity, growth, and innovation create a community where all can prosper, be free, be safe. Now, those criteria were written by your granddaughter because I tried to stab at it and she did so much better. So I thank you so much for putting that together. This first Inspiration Award is to be given this evening to our esteemed eponym, a new word I looked up, the Honorable Dr. Clifford E. DeBaptiste. So let me tell you why. All right? So now I'm going to talk about you, sir. Uplifting life through service has been Dr. DeBaptiste's long-standing credo. He's widely recognized for his business acumen, civic leadership, spiritual guidance, and community philanthropy. In 1954, right, after serving in the Army, he graduated from mortuary school, and the young Clifford DeBaptiste and his lovely bride, Inez Manning DeBaptiste, made Westchester their home. So over the years, they grew their family and launched a successful business, the DeBaptiste Funeral Homes. Now, there's much more detail in your program. I'm only summarizing a bit. Fast forward to 1994. Dr. DeBaptiste took office as Westchester's first African-American mayor, and he served 2 incredibly successful terms from 1994 to 2002. And I remember when I got here in 2001, you gave me a key to the borough, and I thought, oh my God, they never did this in Philadelphia. This is some kind of town. And I have that key on my desk 22 years later. So throughout your time as a business person, an elected official, and a community advocate, the Honorable Clifford DeBaptiste has received more than 500 awards and recognitions of service. And I hear you keep our door opener award at your bedside? Yeah, sometimes? He got the door opener award several years ago, Kurt, so I'm gonna check too. Now, the fact is, Dr. DeBaptiste's daughter, Lillian, has always been at the helm with him. And I think, Lillian, you've astutely navigated when to work behind the scenes and when to come forward. And this is about passing the inspiration on. Lillian, too, is a proven businesswoman and a steadfast, dedicated community leader. Seems to be in the genes. Lillian's commitment to economic prosperity and equity compelled her to run for public office in 2020. So she was inspired. She ran, and do we know how this turned out? She won. And I love that. The fact is, I saw this the other day. You said in the cold, COVID-y day that you were sworn in as mayor, Lillian, you had a pre-swearing-in ceremony on the porch of your home, right? Because that was COVID and you couldn't get over there. So as mayor of Westchester, and I love that photo, Lillian has taken up Clifford's civic torch. You've lit the way. She promotes also justice and social equity, especially in parts of Westchester that have been historically neglected. Now, Dr. DeBaptiste's 2 other daughters are not in the public eye. A particular one wouldn't even come on stage for a picture tonight, right? So, Dr. Celeste DeBaptiste, MD. She's right there. Yeah, see, she's not getting her picture taken. And Inez DeBaptiste, Esquire, have also taken up their father's torch in more private ways via their professional career accomplishments in the medical field and in the legal field. And you sure do look good in shades, ladies, I say. So part of Dr. DeBaptiste's legacy is intelligence accomplished children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren, thank you very much, each of whom in their own way have dedicated themselves to bettering our community's quality of life. So Dr. DeBaptiste's philanthropic giving is also widespread. Yeah, there you go. Over the years at our community foundation, Dr. DeBaptiste has created a very large handful of charitable funds to honor colleagues and friends. So you seeded philanthropy for many. Plus, Clifford DeBaptiste, the DeBaptiste family, and the DeBaptiste Foundation awards grants focusing on social justice, civic engagement, and education in the greater Westchester region. So through all that you have done, Dr. DeBaptiste has inspired scores, hundreds, perhaps thousands of people to become more active in their communities. He is truly a model for others to emulate. Dr. DeBaptiste, you inspire each of us to do more, uplifting life through service to create stronger, more prosperous community. Chester County is indeed fortunate to benefit from the long-standing community legacy of the Honorable Dr. Clifford E. Baptiste. For all these reasons and more, we are pleased to present our very first Honorable Dr. Clifford E. Baptiste Visionary Award. Are you ready? It's live.
Oh.
Would you like to say anything?
Yes.
Stay right
yes.
here.
First of all, how about Karen? Let's give Karen a good.
Put it in this hand so you talk.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Oh man. By Lillian's standard, I'm going to talk too long. But by my standard, it's brief. Whew. This has been a little bit more than I expected. And I would be remiss if I didn't start thanking so many people. And if you bear with me, especially Lillian, you got to start from the beginning. I have to start with my mother. Tough woman, courageous woman. We didn't understand some of the standards she set. We just followed them, that's all. One of her goals was education. That be your goal, education. And it shows. No push, no, you got to do this. Everyone did it on their own. I'm indeed grateful and thankful for my mother. And then I got lucky. I married a great woman who was quietly, but a strong woman who had the same goals. We didn't care about beautiful homes, and they're nice. Wonderful cars, great to drive. But education. She herself was a graduate of university and another school. When I counted the other day, I think the five of us had something like 8 universities and 5 or 6 other higher educations. If you count my 2 honorary doctorates, about 16 higher education among the 5 of us. And it just, nobody ever stopped to think, to count, but I did. Just the other night for the first time. Everybody had at least 1 university or 2 universities. Dr. Celeste here. So, and I didn't know that my grandchild out in, she graduated from Oberlin College, wasn't even counting them. She had been watching me all this time, and she knew what I was doing and didn't even realize myself, visionary. Somewhere along the line, she wrote a great piece about vision. And not knowing me, that's what it's all about. Vision for people, for family, for education, for children. That solves a lot of problems. Some of the things that we have going wrong with the country today is because people really aren't educated. If you can understand their point of view if you just get that background of education. As nobody in my family is bright or is extraordinary bright. Nobody in the family.
It's okay.
We have no genius in there. It just,
Thank you very much.
they just hardworking. They're hardworking. I remember when Celeste used to call me 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning when she was going to Johns Hopkins about organic chemistry. It was hard for her, and when some other classmates, she was saying, just grabbed it like that. She struggled with it. But she made it. She made it. So we're just an ordinary family. And that's what I like about them. Yeah, we disagree on a lot of things. A lot of things, sometimes they're mad at me, and sometimes I'm mad at them. Yeah, I'm their daddy. I've always been their father, regardless of whatever we've been through. They've always respected me as a father. They always respect me in some of my decisions and my ideas, especially my grandchild, Elizabeth now, who is doing a lot of the work. Because Bill said, okay, I've done it for 50 years, now you do it for a few years. And she's doing a hell of a job. And I thank you, Elizabeth. And then her sons and Chris. Did Chris make it? Oh, she made him stay home and work. But you, that's the point. Education has got to be the groundwork for what we're ever doing. Even no more than you have enough education to understand why the other person has a point of view, and they're entitled to it. But long as you know, and you pass it on, that's all I can ask. I've got to thank Thomas. He's my son-in-law, Lil's husband. Oh, his family. I got here today because of him and family. He helped bring me over. There's very few things that I can do by myself. I got 3 daughters. One of them's not here. They all do everything you ask for. I don't even have to ask for anything. I don't ask for, is there milk in the refrigerator? Or is there a meal fixed for me? Or this, that, the other? It's done. And there's 3 people working full time just to take care of their father and grandfather. And they got great-grandchildren now that come along beside. I wish Chris was here because he's a great-grandchild, but his mother got him working there to take care of the business. So, but I do want to thank him. He's the next generation coming along to try, and I talked to him this morning, try to set a standard so that he knows what he's shooting at. This is the greatest community that anybody could ever wish for. Everything. Look at this theater, for example. Look at the people who are presenting this award to me. Take Malcolm Johnson. I know some of you were there the other night. He gave the Preservation Award. Where's Malcolm? Where's Malcolm?
There, second row.
I can't see because I got all the lights on. Everybody that see Malcolm, give him a hand. Everybody see Malcolm.
You ready? You want to say anything?
Huh?
You ready?
I ain't finished. I was kidding the other night when Malcolm when Malcolm presented the award to me. I was kidding the other night because, you know, I guess you'll remember McNeely. He used to be the borough manager here when I became mayor. We knew the mayor. We knew Westchester needed something. We knew Westchester needed a lot of things, but we needed something to get us started, and we needed somebody to come and put all this stuff together, and so Malcolm McNeely come. He met this fellow from Idaho, good-looking, handsome man from Idaho. What could he do for Westchester? But he did, didn't he? All right, let's give Malcolm another hand. Yeah. A lot of things. But see, all of these things is because the community grasps it. There's no one person. This award that you're giving me tonight is because of you. And most of you deserve this award, not me. Because you made the Centennial Prayer go. You made 8 years of beautiful mayorship go. You made all the preservation awards go, all the honors, and there's been quite a few, go. Because you did it. And when the history is written, I don't think it's going to be Clifford DeBaptiste. They probably won't even know who. They just know that the community went forth. You know, and that's what I like about it. You know, I'm so afraid that I haven't given somebody credit that should deserve credit. But if I didn't, it's Lillian's fault because she wanted me to make this brief.
Don't think everybody.
And I'm as brief as possible. You know, and what you have done here has spread it to other communities. Kennett Square is trying to be a Westchester, Pennsylvania. I love it. I love it. So is Phoenixville. And so is Coatesville, you know. And speaking about Coatesville, and speaking about Republicans.
Okay, thank you.
No. Harry Lewis is here.
All right, Harry's here.
He's the only Republican that I know that won in Westchester County. And I love him and his lovely wife. She's from Westchester. You know. But I'm not going to ramble. I'm not going to ramble. Because I'm being touched on the back and everywhere else. I I don't care. Because there's one thing you know for certain, and you know how I believe. You and me and nobody else is promised tomorrow. And if I don't say it today, I may never say it. Now, next year, I'm supposed, I think it's next year,
Yeah.
I'm supposed to say who
You get to pick the winner.
gets the winner. Now, not morbid, but you're not promised tomorrow.
Yeah.
As some of my close friends and some know, especially Dr. Trotman, I've had some rough times. And although my goal originally was 112,
112.
I changed it around to 110.
110. 110.
I changed it around to 100,
Thank you.
but somebody else may change it around to 98. So what I've done was this. Where's my walker? Where's my
Oh,
walker?
are you going to stay?
Where's my walker?
It's back here.
No. Hand me that brown envelope.
Oh, the brown envelope.
Hand me the brown envelope.
Brown envelope with your names on it.
Now let me ask you this.
Uh-oh. we're in
Is the
trouble.
chairman of the board here?
Yes, ma'am, sir.
Can the chairman of the board come?
Yes, sir.
All right, you stand over there,
Yes, sir.
and you stand over there.
Yes, sir.
And this is to Karen and the chairman of the board. Now, I put chairman of the board because you got elections are. You may not be chairman next year.
That's true. Absolutely.
Please do not open this envelope until next year.
Oh, nice.
Inside is my personal choice
Oh,
for the annual award of the Dr. Clifford DeBaptiste Visionary Award. Now. I hope to be here to do this myself. But just in case, just in case
oh, yeah.
whoever's in charge of tomorrow and says as other ideas,
Here's your mic.
I want each and every one of you to be here to see who gets the award for next year. Now, like I said, including me.
That's right.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
But this I'm going to have to give, and you only to open this
We will not.
when you think it's the time. You can wait till that very day. You can work for a month ahead when the board and you all decide to open it. Then you can open it, and it's not. It'll be easy to open too either. But no, you can't do
We
that.
have 250 witnesses. It's taped on the back, and you cannot see through it, all right?
And it's taped 3 times in the middle of it too.
I'm going to put
Okay.
it in my black book over there, all
Well,
right?
as long as you and the chairman know,
We're going to put it in
it's
front of
okay.
everybody.
And now, a secret is when only one person knows. If 2 people know, it's not a secret.
Not a secret.
Only one person knows. That's me. I got 3 o'clock one morning and I wrote. And the writing looks like somebody wrote at 3 o'clock in the morning too. So they may have to figure that out a little bit. But honestly, to say, each and every one of you, if I could just hug you and say thank you, I really do. You know, just like Frederick Douglass and Dr. Trotman said, you never know when your last speech is going to be. So you better say what you got to say, so you can't say, well, I think he meant, I wish he had, don't you know? So I've said everything that I really wanted to say. When I get home, things when they come out like this, it takes me 24 to 48 hours to get over. Plus, Lil and them going to be badgering me, say I talk too long and all that, you know. But I don't care. Yeah. So, please, thank you.
I'll take this.
My body will pay for it anyway.
All right, so you're going to stay for the next 20 minutes? Kurt, you want to come over to the, let's do this. Lil, take Kurt's chair. That way you can stay up here. All right. Sir, I do hope, you said 100 years old will be May 19th, 2024? Yes. All right. We look forward to that celebration. Very good. Everybody's invited. And now, Winnie, would you like to introduce our door opener? Oh, wait, we'll take the envelope, please.
Yeah. The envelope.
Okay.
I've given custody of the envelope.
Custody of the envelope is to the book.
Right. So Kurt Kunsch is one of our door openers. Yep, sorry. Kurt Kunsch, who is standing here with me, is one of our door opener recipients. There are two this year. One of them goes to Dave Fries, who's not with us tonight, and the other goes, certainly not second, to you. Door openers are members, usually attorneys, bankers, accountants, investment managers, who open doors to philanthropy for people they're involved with. If you have questions, you might contact one of our door openers. We've had them for over 20 years. We have a lot of them. Some of them are super door openers because they get more than one. At any rate, I would like to introduce you to Kurt.
And I'm going to talk about you.
Yeah.
Okay. So Winnie, you want to grab that little door opener award?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was supposed to.
Yeah, it's a little crowded up here. Kurt, come on over here. Winnie will stay there. We're good. All right, so this door opener, we are very pleased to spotlight the in-person Kurt Kunsch. You can look at yourself. And the traveling Dave Fries is this year's door openers, and let me tell you why. They supported Robert Erb's consideration of the Community Foundation as a vehicle for his philanthropy. Now, Robert Erb, who you'll read about in your annual report, joined Montgomery County Community College in 1970 as a librarian on staff. His service continued for 45 years until his retirement in 2015. He was also an accomplished musician. You see him there? Yeah, he was active with the American Guild of Organists. So Mr. Erb was passionate about community colleges and their mission and their diversity. And he was philanthropic throughout his lifetime. The fact is, in his estate planning work with Dave Fries, after he reviewed several options, he decided on an education-focused fund at the Community Foundation named in honor of his parents. So Jonas and Marian, and his name is also on the fund. Upon his 2020 passing, Robert Erb's sizable estate, as I said, about $7 million, transferred to this charitable fund. So always looking for reliable wealth management, with Dave Fries as the attorney, we were confident in referring Robert Erb's estate to Phoenixville Federal Bank and Trust, where Kurt Kunsch, I can't believe this, you've been there for over 25 years now?
Yeah, it's a long time.
You're just a little boy. So over these last 25 years, Kurt has been at the nexus of scores of wealth management and estate planning conversations. The fact is, he's established himself as a leader in the field, known for sound business practices, integrity, trust, and a personal ethics of community service. So the Erb Charitable Fund supports education, particularly reading, writing, and speech, through student scholarships, through grants to community colleges and similar accredited, oh my gosh, say it with me.
Accredited?
Accredited, all right, accredited institutions in Chester County, Montgomery County, and Delaware County. Programs and activities from the fund must make significant lasting impact on learning enhancement and learning skills. So, you helped to open the door to Robert Erb's legacy philanthropy. You have already won our door opener award years ago, and it was time to again present you with this year's door opener award. So Winnie, would you present the favorite door opener award to Kurt and let him say whatever he'd like?
Thank you.
Woohoo!
Thanks to everyone. Really appreciate everybody coming out tonight. What an awesome honor to be receiving this award. So many great people in the room tonight, friends that I've worked with for a number of years now. And I'm just happy to be a small part in the Chester County Community Foundation. I would like to thank Karen and her incredible team. They're a pleasure to work with. You all know this already. Phoenixville Federal Bank and Trust for allowing me to make a positive impact on my clients, their children, grandchildren, and the community. Of course, my father, who inspires me daily. My wife, Kelly, for her unwavering support. She's not here because she's running my kids around right now. And of course, the co-recipient of this award, David Fries, who's a lifelong friend, mentor, and his thought leadership, I am more than grateful to receive. Just a personal story about Mr. Erb. Way back, you just never know when your lives are going to cross paths with people. As a young boy, I sang in the Valley Forge Memorial Chapel Boys Choir in Valley Forge under the direction of Peter Conti, who was my choir master. And as we were going through the estate administration, as Karen had mentioned, Mr. Erb was a donor for the American Guild of Organists. And as we were going through some of his things, I noticed a number of programs featuring Mr. Conti as an organist. Peter is he is the lead organist for the grand organ at the Wanamaker building at Macy's, still to this day. And the really cool thing was, a lot of those programs that Mr. Erb had, I would have been in attendance with him at those because we would sing and Mr. Conti would do his organ concert. So it was really, really cool. And so, you know, so incredible how our lives have collided again to create beautiful philanthropic music.
Nice.
So really, really cool. And I'm going to leave you with Mr. Erb's motto, which was simple beginnings with great endings. May we all live a life to that end, but not really, as his generosity will live on for decades to come. I encourage all of you to make a lasting impact on our community, whether that be through time, talent, or treasure. Thank you very much.
Can you escort Nancy over?
Yes.
And go give her the escort over. Thank you, Kurt. Oh, it's a little tight over here. Thank you. And now you get to take her chair. Go for it. He wants the award. Go ahead.
We have so many extraordinary funds. Tonight, you'll hear from Nancy Tuttle. She'll tell us about her husband, Stephen Tuttle, and the fund she created to honor his legacy. Nancy?
I'm just going to turn this to the end.
Okay. First of all, I want to thank the Chester County Community Foundation for allowing me to tell our story. My husband, Steve, passed away in early 2019. He was a loving father and grandfather, devoted husband, avid athlete, and youth soccer coach, and a generous community volunteer. One of Steve's passions was cycling. He regularly clocked over 100+ miles through up and down the hills of Chester County. And he had also loved his more than occasional stop at the craft breweries, not necessarily while he was biking, though. His love for cycling led him to co-chair the Abramson Cancer Center's annual bike race, where he himself raised thousands of dollars of sponsorship. He spent his entire 40+ year career in cancer research, devoted at University of Pennsylvania for the most part. He was devoted to finding the cure. He not only loved doing research, but he was passionate about educating and mentoring the next generation of scientists. In 2010, he established an innovative international program at the University of Pennsylvania for training undergraduates in radiation sciences, and it was called SUPERS. I really don't know what the acronym stands for. I should know that, but I don't.
It says on that one, summer
It does?
undergraduate
There you
program.
go. Summer undergraduate program for educating radiation scientists. There you go. I'll try to remember that. Thank you. It is still going on today. And a large percentage of the 200+ alumni of this program have gone on to careers in radiation oncology. Many of the students involved in the SUPERS program are from underrepresented minorities, which leads to a more diverse scientific workforce, hopefully leading toward breakthroughs in finding the cure. When Steve passed away in 2019 after his own courageous battle with cancer, our family knew we wanted to do something to continue his legacy. The Stephen Tuttle Fund for Oncology Research and Education was born. With the advice of Michael Carwick, who's a former, or was a chairman of the board here. Is that right? Mm-hmm. On the board?
Yes, he was.
We reached out to the Chester County Community Foundation to set up our endowment fund. They have been great in helping me set up the fund and to oversee our fundraising efforts. So thank you so much. Our first event, Bourbon, Brews, and Blues, and again, the name was because of those were the things that Steve loved, his bourbon, his brews, and he loved music. But blues also stood for colon cancer. Our first event was held in 2020. Due to the pandemic, it had to be 100% virtual. This didn't stop our amazing committee from being innovative. We set up over 20 teams nationwide, and each team collected money for the fund. It was a competition. And if anyone that knows me and the Tuttle family, they know that that is what we do. On the night of the inaugural event, the teams tuned in to the speeches and live auction and made donations to the fund. The first event raised over $100,000 with very little expense. In 2021, we decided to hold a second event to highlight some of Steve's other interests. And this is when we started Bike, Run, Cure. It was held in May, which is actually Cancer Research Month. And we had many teams and over 120 individual participants, raising over $9,000 and creating more awareness for the Stephen Tuttle Fund. That same year, last year, was our second annual Bourbon, Brews, and Blues, and we had a hybrid event. So we held it at Lock Erie Mansion as well as remotely across the country. This event raised another $120,000 for the fund. So now we come up to this year, 2022, and we repeated the Bike Run Cure. This year we had 211 participants from 19 states, and we raised $11,000. It's really fun to see how this event has grown each year. A couple weeks ago, we had our third annual Bourbon, Brews, and Blues, again at Lock Erie Mansion. And this time it was mostly in person. So this is the third year, and we've had 3 different events with completely remote, then hybrid, and now an in-person event. But we still live streamed this event across the country. 150 people attended the in-person. We're still reconciling our numbers, but it looks like we netted over $90,000 after all expenses. We have held other fundraisers over the last 2 years with Locust Lane Brewery, Sedona Tap House, and other local businesses. The support we have had from the community is extremely gratifying. When we first set up the Stephen Tuttle Fund, we thought it would take us 10 years to reach our goal of $500,000. In 3 years, we have raised almost $350,000. It just shows that so many people have been affected or know someone that's been affected by cancer. This year, we spread our wings and are not only supporting the Supers at Penn program, which Steve had started, but we have formed a relationship with the American Cancer Society and will be supporting their Diversity in Cancer Research internship program. This program is similar to Penn Supers, but is held at 14 universities across the USA. Steve's passion was contagious and enduring. It is extremely gratifying to continue Steve's commitment to educate the next generation of cancer scientists and researchers. Hopefully, they will find the cure that we all so desperately want. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. Because of you, Stephen will be remembered for his contagious smile, boundless optimism, and love for humanity, and your fund will certainly be remembered for all the good you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing these stories. We at the Community Foundation continue to be inspired by the generosity and strength of our families, our colleagues, our neighbors, and our strangers who become friends throughout the region. Thank you for the privilege of entrusting your charitable legacies now and forever. Before we close this meeting, let me let you know a few things coming up. You may have noticed with COVID that we started some Zoom sessions. They're continuing. Some of them are incredibly interesting, useful, and robust. So we encourage you to Zoom in for our community conversations on social justice and diversity issues. They're engaging and enlightening, and there's so much to learn and so much to do. And now we also host monthly Zoom meetings on Culture Builds Community and what each person can do to help. A few weeks ago, we hosted our Board Institute live and in person, and now, twice a month, we Zoom board trainings and roundtables for new as well as experienced board members. And all our Zoom sessions are free and open to anybody in the public. On February 28th, we decided we're going to Zoom our investment forum because we're going to have it snow, February 28th. But the fact is, after the snow melts, one thing we don't like to do by Zoom is sweet charity. So mark your calendar. Tuesday, March 28th, we're going to be doing it a little differently this year. Sweet charity will be at the Exton headquarters and warehouse of the Chester County Food Bank. How's that for a sweet idea, right? So we look forward to a new twist on an old favorite. And now, Winnie, we're coming to the final close. You want to take it home?
I do.
Boom, 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 boom.
I also wanted to tell you that there was not a dress code.
Great minds.
I was supposed to wear blue, but I forgot. So we're now going to conclude this annual meeting. We invite you both upstairs and downstairs to the receptions. Please stay to meet some new people, talk about the wonderful things, the wonderful people, the inspiring people that you've heard about tonight. Thank you for all that you do to make Chester County a better place to live, work, and enjoy for good, for all, and now forever. Thank you.
Thank you very much.